아니요.
그럼 여기서 작업 좀 해요.
영상 하나만 빼면 되는 거 아니에요?
Spirits, you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Spirits가 first고 그 다음은 Who is second? Is it Mario?
아까
Yes, I'm here.
Hi Mario, how are you?
Good and you?
Hello, Dr. Hardy.
You're from
Hi.
Bangkok.
Yes.
아,
No.
파스트 본부가 방콕이.
Where else is coming?
우리 저 화면이 감독님 저쪽에 다 보이는 화면이에요 지금? 저 떠있는 화면이 중에? 우리 감독님 안 보이시나요?
네, 안 보여요.
저 화면 안 보이고.
아마 다 여기는
Hi, Mr. Minister, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
You're coming in from Lebanon, right? Are you in Lebanon
Yes.
now? Okay, very good.
Yes, I'm perfect.
Hello,
Thank
dear
you.
Gudanya. Hello, dear.
Welcome. You know Spirits, you know
hello.
Mario. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. DeMarcos. How are you? Is he coming from Brussels or Greece?
I think he's in Istanbul. I'm not sure. Panagiotis, you are muted.
Where is he from? Where is he situated now? Greece?
I think now
Καλησπέρα
he's
σε
in.
όλους.
Good afternoon. How are you, Panagiotis? Now you are in Istanbul, Turkey.
Yes,
He's in
Okay.
Turkey.
yes, I am in Istanbul
Yes.
Okay.
because we had a competition, Balkan Athletics competition here indoor.
Oh, okay. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, how are you?
She's from
Thank you.
London. She's coming
Yeah.
from London. Very
Good to
good.
see you all. Yeah, thank you for the organisation. How are things?
Okay, who is coming in? Where is it?
Hello, dear Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Σπύρο, πώς είσαι, όλα καλά?
Hola, μια χαρά.
Ωραία,
Hola, μια
ωραία,
χαρά.
μπράβο, μπράβο.
Νομίζω ότι ακούγεται κορίνα.
Εγώ δεν... Μ' ακούς εμένα τώρα εδώ?
Ναι.
지난번 했더니 그거 설명 그대로 해.
그대로. 그 아까 말씀드렸듯이 우리 그
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep, I hear you.
Yes.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank
Good evening,
you.
Elena.
Hi, yes, thank you. Everything is
And,
okay?
everything is fine, thank you. I'm happy to see you.
Great.
We are all happy to see her.
How are you? How is in Korea? How is the weather?
Weather is okay, except we have too much yellow dust, Chinese
Oh,
dust, Chinese dust.
Very warm.
This dust, we had it in Greece and in Europe like a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything was yellow. Yeah.
Terrible here.
유럽도 옐로요? 옐로빈.
And how is the pandemic? Things are getting better?
One week okay, next week not so good, but it's struggling. We're struggling, but we're getting better. But I think within 2 weeks we'll start vaccination, and it will calm down people's,
Well, I'm following this, and as long as we are not going to have 80% vaccination of the people in each country, we still have to take the measures and the negative test, and things should be
50%.
like it now. Yeah, I guess if we are able to vaccinate a big percentage of people till the beginning of summer and end of this year, I think next year will be much better.
But still, I think we should take precautious measures like wearing mask and washing hands and all these things has to.
I know, because the thing is that this, how can I say, COVID-19 changed also, it becomes a little bit different each time, like a new COVID from England, a new COVID from South Africa, a new,
Yeah.
it's really complicated. So anyway.
We'll see. 지금
Okay.
몇 분이 들어오셨어요? How many are we having on board?
How are you, dear Excellency? How are you, Elena?
Hello, very nice and pleased to see you.
Me too. It's been very long time.
It's true, it's true. And in Lebanon, you still have a little of, situation there, right? Economical and political.
Some situation in Lebanon.
Big situation, a large amount of situations. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a total disaster.
We see Dr. Rifai online came in. 이걸 다들 저렇게 조그맣게 해서 쭉 지금 보여줄 수 있겠어요?
전체 들어온 분들.
전체를. Okay, now I see
Dr. Rifai.
Dr. Rifai, I see him. Okay, I see Mario, young ambassador, youth ambassador. 몇 분이 오셨나? 이분은만 있을 게 아니라 전체를 다 해주셔야지.
네?
왜 Lebanon 장관?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Rifai.
Hi, Elena. How are you? Hi.
I'm fine.
Good to see you. You look beautiful.
Thank
as
you.
Always,
Thank
as
you.
always.
He always says
As
to every
always.
lady, she's beautiful.
Yes.
No,
He's very polite.
No. Not to every lady. Not every lady is Elena. Elena is very special.
I know.
She knows that.
I know.
She knows that.
Thank you so
다들
much.
띄워봐 주세요. 한 분만 띄우지 말고 들어오신 분들 몇 분이 오셨는지.
Avadis,
다 띄우세요.
Yes, excellent. Yes, doctor. How are you?
How are you? Hi.
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
I want to ask you a
Hi,
question.
Jacqueline Corbelli
Want to
there.
ask you a question.
Okay. 하나, 둘,
Yes,
To
for
ask you a
sure.
question.
일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, 열하나,
Yes,
열둘,
please.
열셋, 열넷. 응.
There's a person called Michelle something. وزير في الوزارة عندكم.
다 17 우리까지 합하면 20사람 됐잖아.
No mas mad, doctor.
Okay. All right.
Michelle George.
Good morning.
ما بتصور يمكن وزير سابق أو شيء.
천천히 또 들어오실 거예요.
ممكن. اسأل عنه كنت.
ما بعرف مش سامع بالاسم.
We can talk later.
Yeah.
We can talk later.
Okay. Can you start our meeting?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Good morning to the United States. Good afternoon to Belgium, Europe. 이거 지금 띄우면 안 되는데. And good evening to us. It's 10 o'clock here in Korea. And I'm very happy to see all of you in such a good health. I'm very grateful that you are healthy under this circumstance. And this is how I like to see today's meeting. We all know each other. So I'm not going to spend my time introducing each other. Okay, we all know each other. And I'm going to make this 1 hour meeting. And by saying that, I have a schedule, I have agenda that I'm going to ask Elena to speak first, and then KC presentation, APEC presentation, and Spiro is going to make some technical and real important issues of IEC headquarters. And then I ask Mario to, as a youth ambassador, he's going to say a few words. And then after the, hi Irina. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to ask Doreen to make some observation, her remarks as ITU representative. That's what I have in mind. So without wasting, and then of course, very important, we're going to have a test event. It's not going to be long because of what happened, coronavirus situation, you know, that they just cannot do in the stadium. So we had to send them to a studio. So that's, we'll see what the test event is going to look like. We're just going to just taste of a test event today. So having said this, let me give first speaking role to Elena. Elena, would you please say a few words?
Of course, thank you so much, Ambassador Do. Dear friends, esteemed founding members of the International Esports Committee, welcome. We started with Ambassador Do almost 2 years ago to discuss the merits and the necessity of creating a regulatory body that would regulate the esports sector in a balanced and beneficiary way for our children and for the future generations. We have been working tirelessly since then. We have already registered here in Brussels the non-for-profit organization International Esports Committee, the global headquarters. We have obtained the royal degree from the King of Belgium. We have started the application to be registered under the auspices of the United Nations, and we have been accepted. Ambassador Do and myself, we will co-chair. We have invited Mr. Kim in the position of the Secretary General of IEC Global Headquarters and Mr. Spiros Pantos to be Managing Director and the main contact point of the IEC Global Headquarters. We are here today to make sure that the global esports sector, beyond its commercial success around the globe, will be properly regulated in an ethical, fair, balanced, and inclusive way. We are here to drive the future generations in a constructive and evolutionary manner. we gathered today to initiate the conversation after our ratification from the King of Belgium and our honorary acceptance from the United Nations to initiate the petition process. The United Nations Development Sustainable Goals will be our guide, and we will follow the example of the International Olympic Committee and the Olympic Games. The mission of IEC is to build from the ground up the constitutional infrastructure of a global federation. We will develop this goal by focusing on the following objectives and activities. The IEC will promote digital competition, sports, games worldwide in a balanced, inclusive, and mutual beneficial way for all of humanity. It will be in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for peace, shared prosperity, and social inclusion, having a particular focus on creating opportunities for young people, women, and people with disabilities. Prominent personalities from all over the globe will participate to the establishment of the IEC and will contribute to a new evolving human path for the prosperity and development of all humanity. IEC is established also to structure a digital global unity and balance, competitive games, entrepreneurship, new technological breakthroughs, the expansion of simple video games to even more multi-layered and complex concepts and notions, with the addition of virtual reality, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and gamification, attributes of every aspect of the human reality. IEC will emerge as the driver and instigator of social human evolution. IEC aspires to bring together private and public sector, big conglomerates, academic institutions, investors, scientists, and distinguished people from every aspect of human activity. And through simple gamification, educational, entertaining, scientific, and social inclusive paradigm shift via IEC's platforms, we have a very positive impact in the whole world now. I pledge myself to use my current role as member of the European Parliament, especially with my participation in the Special Committee of Artificial Intelligence in the Digital Age, IDA, the Committee on Industry Research, Energy Technology, ITRE, and the Transport and Tourism Committee, TRAN. And I will try with my vast experience to propel the IEC Global Initiative to all 27 EU countries, and with your help, all over the globe. Our vision is for every country in the world to create its own IEC national organization. And in order to succeed this goal, I want you all of you to use your resources and establish the IEC national branches in your countries, either yourselves or with people that you trust and you will choose and introduce to us. Spiros Pantos, the IEC Global Headquarter Managing Director, will be available and at your disposal to guide you and assist you in all your efforts. We are here to create the International Esports Committee Global Federation. So, dear friends, let's start play our global esports games. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you, Elena, for such a powerful and speech and introduction. I remember I think it was November 2019, then Dr. Rifai and Elena and I met in London. We talked about this IEC. And we could have a very much active participation because by 2020, we woke up 2020 with such an, devastating epidemic. So it just withheld everything in the back. But meanwhile, Mr. Kim, he's very dedicated. He spent all his life in education, And when I talked to him about this IEC, he said he'd be very happy to participate. That's why we have Andrew. It's easier to say Andrew Kim, and I'm going to have him explain what is KEC now and how he is planning as a national e-committee, because we need something to start with as an example so that we can emulate, or we can even make it even better one. So I'm going to turn over to Mr. Kim to say to make his presentation. Mr. Kim.
Okay, thank you very much, Ambassador Dole, the Honorable Elena Kuntra, and Honorable Charter members. I've prepared for the KEC. I will show you the presentation. Okay.
1번이 저기.
Okay. The first is the KEC is the organization is organized the president, the director general, the audit committee, the communication director, marketing department, technology department, operation. Of course, this is the first stage. A detailed and more delicate system will be equipped after the Belgium, Brussels, the headquarters, there will be the after setup. Okay, are we next? Okay, Ambassador, can you explain the logo and symbol?
Oh, okay. This logo, International Esports Committee, we had some brainstorming, and they said, you know, the esports, at the end of the day, it is whoever wants to do it, whenever they want to do it, wherever they want to do it, it can be done. So this is a new slogan we made, but after all, you know, we will take your advices. If you have a better slogan that you want to put up, please tell us so. So we say, International Esports Committee is for whoever, whenever, wherever, and let's make the world better.
Okay, next.
Okay.
Next. Okay, why is the Korea is the strong nation in esports background? I will explain. There are many factors. There are many the background. I will show you a little bit. The first is outstanding infrastructure in Korea. Korea has world's fastest mobile internet connection speed. Korea is the possible. I will show you top average the connection speed on mobile. The South Korea, the 52.4, and then Norway, the Canada, the Japan is 33 the point. Next to nearly the right side, nearly 100% of the households in South Korea now have internet access. There are about the 19 million households in Korea has 99.2% of them have internet access in 2017. Okay, next. Next to the global DRAM, the market share. I will the example show you. Korean company Samsung Electronics and this SK Hynix is 30.1. Is the Samsung, and there are many semiconductor company in Korea, especially global semiconductor market share is 47 point in US, South Korea 19%. Is our background. Okay, next. Trade balance and export in the ICT in Korea, the unit $1 billion. Okay. Trade balance is the top high rank the nation. Okay, next. So far I show you the high technology in Korea, but our technology is based on Korea's tradition and education and other cultural background is based on our technology. Have you ever heard the Korean movie Parasite? Is Academy Award. Okay, Korean, the wave, the K-pop is the BTS, and the sports and the taekwondo. The word acknowledged in Olympic game. Our Korean have the high technology and the cultural background and the traditional and sports. We have the young people various experience in the various field. Okay, next. Specifically, why Korea can hold the esports and the strongest nation, especially the Korean esports started in a PC facility. There are many facilities in Korea. Young people enjoy the game, always around the countries. Okay, the numbers I can distinguish. Okay, next, especially about the 10,000 graduate come from the esports related department every year in Korea. The high school student, the Gyeonggi province, Seoul metropolitan, Chungcheong province, all around the country, many students enjoy the game and study the game and high tech knowledge. Especially university, there are many the university in Korea. 67 universities have the esports related department. Especially esports arena right side, the largest scale arena have in Korea, total 11 arena. This arena can hold the international esports game. Okay, next. As a Secretary General, I prepared KEC first youth esports competition. Maybe event. We will choose the clear and the reliable and safe games we must choose. Okay, period around July. We planned July, especially participation target is high school student. The game way is the one team 5% is the cooperate with their friends and their parents. Okay, I will show you the why Korea esports is very beneficial and very enjoyable. The July 7th, we prepare next month all around the young people, teenagers, the high school student, maybe the middle school student, will participate in this, the first youth esports competition. Okay, the KEC will hold the Korean esports committee will hold this game. We prepare. Okay, next. I think this is the most important thing. What is the role of the KEC? As you know, esports has a very positive aspect. Technology increase the intelligence, but in fact, the e-game has a negative aspect. Example, the gaming disorder. Many parents are worried about the rest learning ability to the games. The damage their health, such as the disc, the brain dysfunction. There are many kinds of the negative aspect. Sorry. IEC will must turn the negative mind into the positive aspect. Our law, the positive the example, the positive mind. The e-game medalist can benefit. military service privilege example. And next, the promising career as a professional gamer, the activating esports games with the pandemic. Okay, but the most important thing is IEC must develop. We will develop esports game to assist education. It's the essential part. Our IEC is the most important law is the assist education. Okay. The Honorable Elena Contra explained detailedly, but the addition. Therefore, the international committee should actively research, analyze the functional aspect and dysfunctional aspect. What is the important? What is important is to establish a system or organization that check, explore, implement effective ways. Above all, the establishment of such a system will be possible through international organization like our IEC. If great leaders like you, who have worked for the world peace, world prosperity, and have the young people of the world work together. If you work together, IEC can carry out this vital mission, must carry out this heavenly mission, I think. I'm sure that our world will definitely be different. Our goal is that let's make the world better. Once again, I'd like to express my deep gratitude all of you who have been together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. And you have just heard this very powerful presentation with passion about this IEC mission and KEC mission. And I'm going to ask Mr. Kwon, who created Asia Pacific chapter of IEC. And he, with his long career as a very higher government ranking official of Korean government, one of the things he did quite well was preparing IOC Asian Games. And 2015, I hope Dr. Rifai still remembers that Dr. Rifai and Mrs. Rifai came to Incheon for Asian Games. And at that time, he already had this vision of esports. So he had a test event in esports, and it's my understanding 2022 when Hangzhou has a Asian game, they're putting this esports game as one of the official game. So I've asked whether he could, with his connection with the Asia Pacific area, I've asked him whether he could help. So he gladly came on board. So let me introduce Dr. Kwon Kyung-sang and make his presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. My name is Kwon Kyung-sang. To give you a brief introduction of myself, I have been in public sectors as government official for about 40 years. I was the Secretary General of 2014 Incheon Asian Games Organizing Committee, the Chief Executive of the Korea National Library, and Assistant Minister for Planning and Management of the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism of the Republic of Korea. Especially Madame Do and Dr. Taleb Rifai, former Secretary General of UNWTO, also attended 2014 Incheon Asian Games, which I was responsible. First of all, it is great honor and pleasure to be here with the four founders of IEC, Madame Do Young-sim, Honorable Member of European Parliament Elena Kuntura, new Secretary General Kim Ok-kyung, Mr. Spiros Pantos, and Honorable Charter members on screen. Please allow me to briefly introduce the overview of Asia Pacific Esports Committee, known as APEC. APEC placed directors in primary positions, as you can see. The main goals and objectives of APEC is to promote esports in the Asia Pacific region according to the values and vision set by the IEC. As Asia Pacific area is the region where esports is rapidly developing, there are always various concerns of teenagers playing video games by internet. With this, we shall set one of the main goals is to develop methods to prevent harmful game addiction for younger generations. In this relation, it is another important mission for APEC to educate and train next generations to promote their hopes and dreams through the positive aspects of esports. With the healthy cycle, the international body of esports will be able to develop regional professional league around the world, which will definitely invigorate esports. By this presentation, I would like to propose to set the headquarters of APEC in Seoul. Also, we will be hosting the regional competition every 2-year period to ensure we provide a platform where the younger generation can enjoy and interact with each other through esports. I believe that IEC, APEC, and KEC can change the people in the world, whoever they are, whenever they are, wherever they are, which is consistent with the new slogan of IEC. Let's work together to make a better world with the spirit of sharing and caring. Let us realize our vision and fulfill the mission for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guan. And now you heard the presentation about KC and APEC. Now I'd like to turn to Spirits, and I'm sure with these two gentlemen's fabulous presentation, you might have some questions to ask, but I'd like to hold it, and we'll have answering the questioning period later on. And I'm going to turn over to Spirits. Where are you, Spirits?
I'm here.
To make a presentation of structure of IEC headquarters and IEC branches, and IEC National Regional Branch Protocol, and financial resources and obligations, members, branches, and how to search investor and sponsors, and then also how IEC expand, how IEC branches everywhere, website of IEC headquarters, all these things, all those things, very important. Without those, IEC cannot function. When IEC cannot function, then our regional office cannot function. So I'm giving the floor to Spirits to please give us briefing.
Thank you very much, dear Ambassador. So, esteemed members of the IEC headquarters, I would like to thank you for your active interest and your participation. My name is Spyros Pandos, and I am the Managing Director of the IEC Global Headquarters. Let's start with the simple and main structure of the IEC headquarters and the IEC branches. So, first of all, the IEC Global Headquarters in Brussels, that has just been registered and established, has a triple role. Except from the IEC Global Headquarters, we are also the IEC Regional Europe branch and the IEC National branch of Belgium. The Board of Directors is comprised by 4 now members, Ambassador Do Young Sim as co-founder and co-chair, MEP Kudura Elena as co-founder and co-chair as well, myself as Managing Director, and Mr. Kim as the Secretary General. The IEC Global Headquarters structure has the next several levels. Number 1, the IEC Global Headquarters has the irrevocable authority to ratify, postpone, or cancel all and each one of the global regional IEC branches and their decisions. The global regional IEC branches are the following: IEC Africa, IEC America, IEC Asia Pacific, and IEC Europe. Number 2, the IEC Global Headquarters has the irrevocable authority to ratify, postpone, or cancel all and each one of the country-level IEC branches around the globe and their decisions. Number 3. Each continental regional headquarter branch has the authority to ratify, postpone, or cancel all and each one of its regional domain IEC branches and their decisions, always in collaboration and in agreement with the IEC Global Headquarters in Brussels. Number 4, and this is the last one, IEC Global Headquarters in Brussels has the responsibility and the initiative mandate to be the central narrative global bearer of the regulatory and public image of all the IEC branches worldwide in the esports ecosystem. Now, we have to expand, we have to create branches all over the world. Every country, every region, we are trying to expand to each country, must have a different branch. So the IEC branches, the simple structure, has the following 10 points. Number 1, the IEC branches shall follow the directives of the IEC Global Headquarters and promote its philosophy, activities, objectives, and function within the branches, as well as within the continental country level and regional local community, according to the specific type of IEC branch. Number 2, the IEC branches shall operate under the supervision and guidelines of the IEC Global Headquarters. Number 3, the IEC branches shall create content in their respective continents, countries, or regions that promote a positive image of esports. Each continent, country, or region has a particular and unique perceptions regarding esports. Therefore, it is important for the IEC branches to create content based on the specific needs of each continent, country, or region, considering the knowledge and awareness around esports in each region, respectively. Number 4, the IEC branches shall host and promote tournaments and qualifiers for the main IEC events at the continental, country, and regional local level. Number 5, the IEC branches shall have a subcommittee that is in charge to influence and resolve all issues and disputes arising at the continental, country, and regional level. Number 6, the IEC branches shall support esports athletes and their development through different means based on each continent, country, or region rules. Number 7, the IEC branches shall host educational programs and seminars to guide and train administrators of esports, whether they are managers of teams or executive in companies that work within the esport industry. The IEC branches shall take an active role in the development of the IEC Global Headquarters educational activities. Number 8, the IEC branches shall organize and host events on esports, issues, and/or for a specific audience, and shall provide the members with a platform so that they can 1. Exchange views and best practices, number 2. Network, and number 3. Meet third parties. Number 9. The IEC branches shall be responsible to share knowledge on esport activities, educational programs, and trainings by coordinating and arranging branch meetings. And number 10. The IEC branches shall have the right to collect information and data from members, write and publish studies, articles, and press releases, and write and disseminate common positions. Now, I would like to share with you a few words regarding the financial resources and obligation of members, branches, and the search for money, investors, sponsors. Because this is very important, and this is reality. So, every member of the IEC will, at least for the first 2 years, have no financial obligation towards IEC. There will be no fee for any of us to pay. After 2 years, we'll reconsider and we'll reconvene on that matter. Each IEC branch, national or regional, will have to contribute, provided they have the resources, of course. This is a suggestion. €5,000 per year to the IEC Global Headquarters. The finances of the IEC headquarters and all the branches shall be derived from, among other sources, from number 1, membership subscriptions, voluntary and mandatory after the first 2 years, after, of course, we decide something like that. Number 2, from subsidies from public bodies or other organizations. Number 3, from gifts and bequests. Number 4, from proceeds from events, publications and sales, the granting of license to third parties for the use of its regulations, etc. Number 5, fees for consulting and mentoring services rendered. Number 6, any other source which the IEC Global Headquarters or its Board of Directors shall approve and sponsor in the future. And number 7, and the final one, no financial assistance from any of the various public and private bodies referred to herein may interfere with the independence of the IEC branch, which is to remain a completely autonomous and independent body, resisting all political, religious or commercial pressures. We have to remain autonomous. Finally, the IEC expansion and the branches must be the main mission of all of us. We have to go to every country and create ourselves, or at least influence the right stakeholders and network with the right stakeholders in order to create the IEC branches around the globe, because this would be our main power. So I would like to share with you some screens now for the IEC-global.org website that we have been creating. If you can please share in our screen the website, that would be very good.
Okay, just wait 1 minute.
Yeah, no problem. Great. This is just the beginning. We have created a few pages and we have started working on it. We have managed to lock the domain IEC-global.org, and we will be creating relevant emails in order to be official in our communication. Everything that I'm sharing with you right now, of course, you will get it via email in a couple of days after this digital meeting, because you have to have, a detailed information on the articles of association of the IEC headquarters and the proposed articles of association as a pattern for the branches. Now, the mission of every member of the IEC is to establish a national IEC all over the world right now. South Korea started already with the National Korean Esports Committee and the Regional ASEAN Pacific Esports Committee. We have to promote the IEC strategic concept to the political, social and business stakeholders of each country. We have to try, as much as we can, of course, to finance IEC activities. We have to create useful and relevant content for the IEC-global.org website that is being developed right now. We have to promote the IEC mission to all media platforms by networking and building useful and positive media relationships. We need the media. We have to make them our friends, and they will be very happy to have very interesting content coming from us. All inquiries, questions, proposals, ideas, suggestions, even complaints from the members should be addressed initially to IEC headquarters and particularly to me. I will try, of course, in a timely manner to read and answer all of them in the best possible way that I can. Now, I would like to thank you very much for your patience and welcome the youngest member of the IEC, Youth Ambassador, Marios Papachristopoulos. Marios, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Hello, it's nice to talk to you again. I presented myself last year in our last digital meeting. My name is Marios Papachristopoulos. I'm a student in Brussels and have been actively involved in esports for the past 10 plus years, pretty much my entire life. I would like to make a little speech for you to better understand how important esports is to me and to young people like me. So I have always played video games and competed in many tournaments and leagues, most recently in League of Legends, which I still participate in and actively compete. And as someone who has grown up in esports, I've been able to connect with people across the world and be part of an amazing community. I've met some of my best friends through esports, friends that live all over the world, specifically Europe, but all over Europe. And I get to see them yearly on esports tournaments and events. From personal experience, I know that esports connects people, especially young people, and connects them all across the world. The esports community is very diverse and it's very welcoming to everyone. Another huge benefit that esports provides, besides a great community, is that it allows young people to harness their competitive drive, to practice, improve, and compete with others, to create an amazing experience as we grow up. Lastly, another important point for esports and young people is that it can create a lot of career opportunities. As Kim said in his presentation, there's many esports university departments now. There's many courses and there's many degrees that are offered around esports management and esports in general. And I personally have many friends who are players, coaches, and managers, and they work in esports and they hope for a bright future so they can continue to make a living out of esports and have it their full-time career. Due to all these reasons, I'm extremely excited and very passionate about esports. And I'm very happy to be a part of IEC, as I believe it's going to play a critical role as esports continues to grow. Thank you so much for your time. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Marius. I was going to introduce you, but Spiros took the privilege of introducing you to our group. But anyway, fantastic. And Marius, don't forget that I asked you to be a note taker of today's meeting, right? Good.
Right.
So far, you have now seen the presentation we have prepared. And since last 2 years, I mean, everybody worked hard and, get to where we are. I know you have questions to ask, but I promised Doreen Bogdan Martin, she is a director of telecommunication development plan. She is from Geneva, and she is very much interested in what we are doing. So I've asked her whether she could come as a special guest, and I know she has to leave an hour. So I'm going to give her first opportunity to make some comments. And after that, I'm going to ask test event, okay? And then after that, we will have anybody among us has question to ask. I will open up the floor. So now, Doreen, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see some old friends and meet some new friends, and really thank you so much for the invitation to join you today. So I come maybe wearing two hats, I would say. One being the Director of Development, so overseeing the ITU, the International Telecommunications work in the field, where our mission is all about connectivity, so trying to get to the 3.7 billion people that are still not connected today, and so would still not have the opportunity to participate in and benefit from esports. But I also wear another hat in that I'm the executive director of the Broadband Commission for Sustainable Development. And Irina was with us before. She was our former co-vice chair of that commission. For us, the work that you're doing is so important because we have a big focus on youth. And of course, when we look at developing markets, Africa in particular, we have never had such growing youth numbers, with 60% of the African population under the age of 25. And I think this esports angle is quite an important and interesting one. We at the ITU started to engage in this space very recently, and we did it in the context of our AI for Good Summit. So we reached out and had interactions with the Global Esports Federation and with other partners in the context of, as I said, our AI for Good Summit, and also in the context of our World Summit on the Information Society, where this seems to be an issue of growing importance, I would say, particularly amongst younger audiences. the point that was made before about inclusiveness, I think I just want to stress and underscore that, because for us, our work is all about inclusivity. When we talk about the 3.7 billion, it's ensuring that everyone can be connected. And I also think that from our perspective, when we look at connectivity and we look at those that are not connected, we have to remember that in most cases, they're actually covered by a signal, a mobile signal, but they're not connecting. And so we see the esports angle as a way to actually drive demand and interest. When we look at why groups are not connecting, sometimes it's because of cost, affordability issues, but in many cases, it's because there's nothing interesting to connect for. And so I find that that what you've put together and this work as potentially an area to kind of hook into that lack of demand and really reach out to, in particular, younger audiences and try to incentivize and motivate them to use connectivity, as you've noted, for peace, for prosperity, and of course, for the sustainable development goals that you can see behind me. But I did want to ask a question, if I may, Ambassador. One thing that does concern us on the ITU side would be in the space of safety. We've done quite a lot of work, in particular with Joanna Rubinstein, in the space of child online protection. So I wonder if someone could elaborate a little bit on the safety issues, on the ethical behavior issues, addiction, I heard that mentioned already. And of course, with younger people coming online because of COVID, we're seeing a rise in hate speech, cyberbullying. So I wonder if that's something that has been considered. So with that, I mean, I look forward to seeing more of the details of what Spiros presented, but it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to join you today for this exciting endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you for your encouraging remarks and encouragement you're giving to us. Yes, we are on the same path, and we hear you, especially those young people in Africa. For me, being spent 15 years working with the African students, I know exactly where you're coming from, and I'm sure Dr. Rifai shared that with me as well. So about the questions you have raised, yes, Mr. Kim, coming from education sector, he deals with these young people day in, day out. And he put a research team. We can't, do the research around the world, but at least we can tell you exactly where Korea stands. And we will publish it very soon. Not publish it to the public, but we'll be very happy to make that report to the members of our founding members. And I think when National E-Committee sets up in different countries, different area, I'm sure they will look at the issue that you have raised. And having said that, Joanna, Dr. Rubinstein, she spent many years working Childhood Foundation headed by Her Majesty, the Queen of Sweden. So we are really right people among our group, and we can share the concerns and come up with the, I don't want to say solution, some good recommendation, and we'll do that. Having said this, we have 10 minutes left. I'm doing very well. And we are going to have a test event first. It will be, because of coronavirus. As a matter of fact, today's event is supposed to be held in Belgium, Brussels. That's how we planned last year, because I thought, COVID would be gone by that time. But now, every depends on different, region is even getting worse. So that's why we are having this, webinar online. So we usually, Andrew Kim show you the big arena. We have 11 of them sitting in Korea now, but can't use it because the government said you can't, more than 5 people, you cannot get together. Otherwise, you're going to be fined. So what we did was we did a test event in a studio. So we're going to connect studio, and then we have a very good young gentleman, Mr. Kim. he is going to
Hyun-soo?
explain, Kim Hyun-soo, he is going to explain what's going on. Okay, so let's spend a few minutes on test event.
It's brain.
Thank you, sorry. Okay, so the video is. We're waiting for the video to start.
We're going to connect to the. Andrew bragged about Korean technology. Don't fail. 천천히 해. So take it easy. 안 돼? 돼. 오케이.
오케이. 연결된다.
Okay, right now you're watching people playing a game called Foxhole. You become a soldier in the Second World War, but the whole purpose of the game is not about violence. It's about getting the teamwork done and trying to find the correct answer to secure as much territory as possible. It's a teamwork. And unlike the conventional thought of video games being violent and so on, about 10% of those games are actually not that much violent. The families can play together. And as you can see right now, they're playing the famous game Among Us. These games are the ones that families can actually play together, especially in upcoming days. These will be one of the methods families can actually get together in a non-violent way, trying to know each other, trying to figure out how the family members think, to have fun time. And as you can see, they're talking online. This will be one of the methods of global interaction in near future. Now you see the famous Tetris. So about 10% of the games are not violent. They're actually very good for arcade casual purpose. It is unfortunate that we could not actually hold the testing event in Belgium online with thousands of crowds, but what you saw right now are the examples of what we can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. And according to what they briefed me is there are about 600 games in the world. Am I correct, Mario? Young ambassador, youth ambassador, am I correct? There are 600 games.
There's hundreds, and there's more being
600.
developed every single day.
And then out of 600,
Around,
about
probably.
60 games are non-violent. And so we selected 9 of them, and they did this, testing event, non-violent games. Okay, having said this, we have about 5 minutes left. Who is going to speak first? We'll take any questions, any comments. And before, whatever we did, presentation Andrew made and Dr. Kwon made and Spears made, we're going to send you by email. We're going to send you electronically. So please take some time, look at and give us a comment. And we will, we'll discuss that and we'll get back to you on, and then we probably need to discuss it amongst ourselves to make the final decision. Am I correct, Elena?
yes, everything is going to be written and sent it to everybody, so to know how we are going to proceed, especially with our regulations and with the branches. And I wanted just to highlight one more time that it's very important to, if they're excited with what we do, all our guests, with the passion we do it. It's very important to think about the branches. It's important to expand all over the world. It's going to be so much easier for us to let's say, make sure that we're going to be established in each country and create national teams. Our vision is more than the success, as I said before, of the private sector, which is there. We want to succeed from the other side, which is the ethical side. And I'm very, very curious to see how the future is going to be, because as Marios Papachristopoulos said, the youth community work opportunity in this esports world. And it's very important also, and I'm going to close with this, that if we expand, I'm sure that people in each country that they're very fanatic and they have a lot of passion for esports games, they will be very supportive. So I want everybody to think very seriously about the branches, and if they cannot, for personal reasons, cannot be the founders of the national branches, to find people that they have this passion to create it. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Istvan would like to take a floor. Are you ready?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Dear friends, I would like to ask only 1 minute, because I think my job is to tell you, to Elena and our friends from Korea, to all of you, thank you so much the invitation. I think it will be a big challenge for us to learn it and to serve the new committee. I'm father of 6 kids, and I know very well what does it mean for these teenagers, the e-sport. I would like to tell you, for me at home, I give them possibility to play only with sports, not the violence games, but I know how does it work. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much the invitation. Elena, you invited me to be part of the to the founder members, and I will be very active to support this committee. And I think the next 10 years, it will be one of the most interesting new projects all over the world. Of course, in Hungary, not only in Brussels, in the parliament, but also in Hungary, I will find the best way to join you. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorary Istvan. Thank you. And Dr. Rifai, would you like to say a few words, please?
Thank you so much, Ambassador. I also want to thank both you and Elena. I think we're in the hands of, God loves us because we're in the hands of good people, good women to start with. But I also want to thank everybody else, Spiros, Marios, and Mr. Kim. I didn't expect to see such progress made in such a short period of time. So that's excellent. My only comment is not about Korea. Korea is a much natural place to have this play because it's all about communication and technology. Korea is very, very advanced in this. But what I need to say is something that Mr. Andrew just said about APEC. I think the word APEC should be used in a different way because we have APEC, another APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Council. We don't want to confuse the two things together. So my suggestion is let's change the alphabet soon. Maybe APEC, IEC, or something like that. That's my only comment. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rifai. Did you say APEC?
IEC.
IEC, APIEC. Mario, Dr. Hardy, do you have anything to comment on this?
No, thank you. Just like to thank everyone for the demo earlier, but also the presentation, and especially Spiros for the excellent work he's actually done so far with the org chart, the organizations, and specifically actually all lining up all the requirements for setting up organizations in different countries. Certainly coming from PATA, I know how difficult that is. So it's a lot of work, and thank you for what you've done, Spiros, for the organization. Thank you.
Ambassador Do, I would like to give 1 minute to the members of the European Parliament that they're very interested also, and their co-founders, Madame Kutayer from Malta and Jose Ramon Diaz from Spain. If it's possible to take the floor for 1 minute.
Sure. Madame Kutayer, would you like to take
Thank
the floor?
you.
Yes.
Thank you, Your
Please.
Excellency, and thank you, dear Elena. It's great seeing you online. I hope that we'll manage to meet physically all together in the near future, but until then, we'll have to also utilize the online meetings. I would like to congratulate you also for the progress done from the last time we met. It's great also to see some developments, both with the UN, but also regarding the Belgian headquarters. I look forward to contributing also, and I look forward to receiving all the documentation to have a look and provide any upcoming feedback. I think that this is a big potential to do something positive in a society, in a world society, may I add here, to look beyond borders and to look at a common cause which goes beyond borders and doesn't look at the different backgrounds we're coming from. And I also obviously support very much the idea, apart from the ethical aspect to it, that we'll see that it is all inclusive when it comes to gender, nationalities, also persons with disabilities or suffering from certain conditions, and to make this accessible to everyone in all parts of the world, even the most remote ones. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Yes, next.
Jose Ramon.
Jose Ramon.
Do you, Mr. Ramon?
Yes, hello.
Okay, good.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, thank you very much for this invitation as well. I have seen many very good friends that I haven't seen personally from many years in the past, and I have to say thank you to Elena because she involved us to be here, and it's absolutely a pleasure. And briefly, I have heard what you're looking for us, and I think we have to involve 100%, not I think 1000%, and I do my best just from right now to develop the Spanish brand of the Easter committee in Spain. Then you are now, I think we are stronger than no 1 year ago, but 1 minute before. And I think we'll all do our best together. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Elena, and all your team. And thank you very much for everything that you are doing from Korea. It's closer than ever to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else who would like to take a floor? We'll have just 5 or 10 more minutes. Okay, Jacqueline Corbelli, I hear. Jacqueline?
Thank you so much.
And then after that, I'm going to ask Mr. Minister. Okay, Jacqueline.
It's such an honor to be with you here from the U.S. side of the globe. And we're very happy to hear about the progress that we've made in these past months. Very exciting. I come today with the additional role beyond the digital tech entrepreneur and in media and on the Leadership Council of the Sustainable Development Solutions Network as the CEO of the U.S. Coalition on Sustainability and a technology built to engage the private sector in a holistic, rapid-scale machine learning platform to achieve the SDGs. And there is an important opportunity in my mind to merge the interests and the capacity of the private sector with global youth to progress toward the SDGs
I would like to know if that part of the private sector inclusion can be part of what we bring to the work that we do and to our strategy. Thanks.
I give Mr. Minister, and then we all answer to her question too.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you for letting me to be part of this huge project. Thank you, Your Excellency Elena. Thank you, Ambassador Do. Thank you, Dr. Rifai. What I want to ask is to be more practical. I don't know if we have the right to announce about this funding or maybe launching meeting, and then if we have the right to talk with our authorities here in our countries or in our region about this project, and then how we can proceed to create branches or talk with the private or public sector in order to do something more practical. If I have to ask it for Spiros, I will do it. If somebody can help me with it, it will be better. Thank you so much.
I will be more than happy.
Very good question. Very good question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Minister. I think the question you ask is something that I was going to ask, open up the floor, and then if we don't have any answer today, we'd like to hear from you later on by written documents. Now, we need to identify, we need to say what our founding members, that those who are with us from the day one, what is our role specifically? How are we going to call ourselves? Are we going to be board of directors of IEC, the headquarters? How? So these things is something that I've wanted to ask you this meeting. So I would be very keen to hear your recommendations. So what role, official title you will have from IEC headquarters? And Dr. Rifai, you have something to say? Is that why you have your hand on?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
I'll give floor
Yes,
to Dr. Rifai.
Thank you. I want to suggest that this committee, this board, continues to act on temporary basis for a period of time, because eventually this board will have to be elected by the members, like any international committee. But I think we can act together as a board for a year or even 2 years max. I think that's the best suggestion I can come up with, is that to consider ourselves a board for a temporary period of time until the bylaws are stated and until the board is elected democratically. Thank you.
Anybody else has a comment on Dr. Rifai's recommendation?
No, I think it's perfect. I think it's good.
Okay. Then for time being, we'll take Dr. Rifai's recommendation. He has been heading international UNWTO, UN World Tourism Organization for 12 years. So he knows how this international organization works. So though we are not international organization that members of state, sovereign state, but I think we have our dreams and our challenges and all this already put it in. So I think we have enough to, to say. So is everybody agreeing that we will have founding members as a board of directors title for 2 years? Would that be okay? Would that be agreeable?
I think this is the right way to do it, if you allow me, because then we have to do the elections when we are ready. So I think it's correct.
Okay, very good. And then does anybody has, Jacqueline, you raise an issue, but I think you are expert in answering those questions. Why don't you give us the answer you're raising the question?
Yes, well, thank you. I call it out because I think it's as I said, an important opportunity to bring the SDGs into what we're building together and what it becomes, and a way to bridge this inclusion of private sector and global youth in that mission. And so with your blessing, I'd like to take that away and come back to you with some recommendations.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? I mean, and anybody is urgent, you can leave, but anybody want to stay, we can stay all night long and talk, right? Joanna Rubinstein. I see Joanna.
Thank you so much, and thank you for a great meeting. And it's wonderful to see how much we have advanced since the last meeting. So thank you for all the great work and for the opportunity to be part of this incredible community. I think I was trying to take notes while Spiros was talking about, you know, some of the principles, including the funding and how important it is that this body remains an independent body. At the same time, I think it is very critical that we find good, productive ways to link with the private sector. All of these games, all of the platforms are businesses. It doesn't mean that's bad.
You're right. You're right.
This body is going to be instrumental in helping us how to bridge with the private sector to ensure that the esports become the driver of change for good and not just a source of funding. So I don't have any particular recommendations apart from a little bit what Jacqueline already mentioned, but I think it's important to either associate ourselves or find constructive ways of bridging so that they are part of this conversation, and because they also need to change their behavior. And a lot of the regulation, and we know some of the very critical situation right now in Europe with online regulation are going to affect the whole sector. So we shouldn't be forgetting about that. But otherwise, thank you so much. It's been inspiring.
Thank you, Joanna. We have now in front of me, I have Amanda, you have not spoken. Mr. DeMarcos, you have not spoken. And
Yes.
Mr. Andrew, you have not spoken. You're still in Malta, right? And can you just say just a few words, like even in 1 minute? I would love to hear from you. Amanda, would you like to say 1 minute?
Yes, of course. Well, it's been fantastic seeing the progress that you've made, and very impressive. I mean, I think I'd like to echo some of the comments made by other colleagues. The key thing, I think, for us that sits in the countries is we need the toolkit to take it forward. And I think that, you know, there's clearly some work being done, but I think we're going to need more material and more of an action plan to enable it. And I think, you know, funding is also going to be very important because without that funding in place or that support, we won't be able to do a great job. And a sort of final point, I think we should think strategically about where our centres need to be. So obviously Korea is going to be a centre. You know, we've set up the office in Belgium, but also, you know, I think there's some, you know, where in Africa, where in the Middle East, you know, where in some of these other developing markets should we be focusing our attention and finding stakeholders there who can work with us. So I think it's an exciting journey and I'm really honoured to be a part of it.
Thank you. Before we go to Mr. Panagiotis, I'm going to answer the question this comment that Amanda brought forward. Yes, funding is very important, at least from our side, from Korea. We are seeking public-private funding. We're going to go strictly to the PPP, partnership on the private and public. And having said that, yes, we do have today, Dr. Rifai, we invited Najib Balala, you know, Kenya
Yes.
minister. He didn't show up. And we also invited Minister Bartlett. He didn't show up. So we do need to go beyond them. We need to seek our partner in Africa. And I thought perhaps, Joanna, you can ask Doreen whether she can recommend someone who can represent Africa, you know? So that'd be good. And also we are lacking South America. So if all of you has some connection, because at the end of the day, it's a person who makes the difference, who can join us and do their job properly. I would like to ask Joanna, you ask Doreen about Africa. And
Well,
anybody who can search for someone from South America?
Yeah,
South
I mean, I think
I can just mention very quickly, the Ambassador Doreen was mentioning that she's Executive Director of the Broadband Commission. The Broadband Commission is co-chaired by the President of Rwanda and by Carlos Slim Hello, who owns most of the networks in Latin America. So, you know, that's why Doreen is a very critical person, not just for Africa, because the Broadband Commission is in all of the countries, and as membership has not only the governments and regulatory bodies, but also some of the companies in these countries.
Yep. So, Joanna, I know you are the really right person to make that the link between us and Doreen ITU. So we'll have good people, you know, connected with us with this board, so-called board members. Okay, so I give you that assignment. Thank you. And Mr. Panagotis.
Okay. Good afternoon from Istanbul. Normally I have to be in Athens, but some business duties catch me in Istanbul. We had the Balkan competition, indoor athletics competition. I would like to congratulate Mrs. Ambassador, first of all, Elena Kudura, for these exciting words that she said to all of us. I would like to congratulate Marius as a young founding member of IEC for the speech that he did. Also, Spiros was very, very accurate about the article for associations, which is very, very important for all of us. I would like to say that I agree with Mr. Rifa proposal for these 2 years, as all of us did it before. And I was impressed for the 99.2% in Korea of this internet. It's amazing, really. Unbelievable. And finally, I hear that only 10% of the games are not violence. This is, I think this is something that we have to push it to be much, much more. I'm sure that during our mandate as founding members, we will push to put inside these games more athletics or sport games that will help the people and the children, of course, to learn much, much more things for sports, that this is something that they will helps them in their entire life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Andrew, you are the only one who didn't speak. Would you like to walk away without saying anything, or would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, just maybe a comment. First of all, thank you, Ambassador Do. Thank you, Ms. Contura, for inviting me to be part of this project. I'm here representing the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation, who, as a mission, we promote tourism as a vehicle for peace in the region. Of course, we do this through concrete projects. For those who have worked with us, already know us, we promote concrete projects. And over the past year, we were already touching about the subject of esports, because of course now esports is probably the latest buzzword, which is taking over the sports world and attracting the attention of all. Just one comment, together with Dr. Rifai, from our end, we are currently exploring the establishment, setting up of a research center, innovation center. And I can see a lot of synergies that could be created with this initiative of esports, because at the end of the day, esports is all about research and innovative ways of doing sports. So maybe we'll be more than happy to support on this front.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to make the final comment? If not, then let me just say that You are not walking away without assignment. I think we all have assignment. I'm very grateful, Elena, and members of European Parliament, because you are going to be a center for this political support. In this real world, we need money, but we also need political, support. Without those two meet in the middle of the road, we can't go anywhere. And we, with Mr. Andrew, he has a very good relationship with the press. So I didn't recommend him to be Secretary General for nothing. I know what we are getting from him. So it's Dr. Kwon. So please, either you create your own national or regional e-sport committee, or please designate somebody that you can trust, you can work together, who can share the same dream with us. And we are going to have this next meeting end of May. So I'm giving you exactly 3 months, March, April, May, to come up with this, your regional something tangible that we see that you have been working as board of directors. Okay? And last word with the spirits, I'm sure he hates me calling him early. I'm his wake-up call. And by the way, he is my wake-up call. So in 24 hours, we are in line in discussing. So you will get all these documents within a week, and we expect you to send us your recommendation, your thoughts to us. Okay? Could I bid good night to you?
Thank
I would
you very
like to
much.
say that
Bye-bye. Thank you.
one more thing, everybody that
All the best.
express the desire to establish the national branch, just let Spiro know. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All the best.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
nice. Okay.
Oh, Dr. Rifa, you don't
Take
want to
care.
go away?
No, it's okay. I'll
You
go.
wanna
I'll go.
stay?
I'll go. I will.